Hi there. My name is Circe Engelhardt, and I want to welcome you to the Unreasonably Grateful podcast, Living in Grace by Choice. So, whether you've been with me for a while, or perhaps you listen in occasionally, or maybe this is the very first time you've been here, I want to let you know I'm grateful that you're here. So, thank you for joining us. A reminder that I don't have your answers. I believe each of us has our own answers. However, I do feel that when we hear other people's experiences and stories from their journey, oftentimes it's beneficial on our own journey. We hear something or see something in a way that gives us a clue for our next step or eases us along the journey. And I do believe we are journeying together, becoming more of who we were and are created to be. So let's see here. This particular episode is called You're Ready When You're Ready. So, to start off with, just a quick update. Most of my test results are back in after my August 20th accident. There's nothing really conclusive. And so, the best advice, even though we're waiting for the heart monitor results, the best advice is take good care of yourself. Eat well, rest, exercise, drink water. So, that's what I'm doing. There is one little side note in the process of all of this and seeing the heart doctor. He started me on a medication, and then previously I wasn't taking any medications. And I've had some very weird symptoms. And today I thought, you know what? I'm just going to call the nurse and see, could this be side effects? Well, she called me back. It could be. And so I'm taking a hiatus for a few weeks and we're just going to see. So I want to say something about that because that's what I do with supplements as well. There's so many ideas of what we should take or what's helpful or beneficial, or there's just so many superfoods and all kinds of things. So what I do is I take it, I see how I feel, I stop taking it, I see how I feel, and then I start taking it again and see how I feel. So it's a really good way just to see like what works for you, what's best for your body. Well, that's the exact same thing this nurse said. She said, you know what? It could be. So stop taking it. I'll check back in a few weeks, see if your symptoms have gone away. You'll start taking it again, see if your symptoms return. So there you go. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Notice I have my glasses back on again. So these are the prescription progressive lens glasses that I got a little bit before the accident. And it was just like too much. I forget what all the things were I was dealing with, but it was too much because I couldn't adjust to the close far thing. Anyway, I committed the other day. It's time. So I was ready. I said, I'm going to do a full week of wearing them and leaving them on the entire day and see how I do. Much like the supplements or some tidbit you might get from this podcast. What I recommend that you do is you try it on. You try what you glean, you apply it to your life, you see how it works. You can stop doing it, see how that works, start doing it again, see if that makes a difference. And you'll actually discover when you're ready. Sometimes I think we get pushed into something or we resist out of fear or we make ourselves or out of habit. The things we were talking about earlier are what are some of the patterns or habits that you do that you'd love to be free of, but you justify them, they work well, and you just keep doing them. So again, I think the real freedom is you can or you can't. So you start, you stop, you start again, and you see how's it going for you. So, I've often told people who reach out to me who are struggling with some version of recovery, and I tell them, you know what, if you're ready to take that leap, I'm your person. I'm really good at walking alongside someone as they step into a new, healthier expression of themselves. But if you're not ready yet. I'm not the best person. Uh, there are other people who are better at that. So, thus, you're ready when you're ready, and you'll know when you're ready. So, just like my glasses, I put them down and I said, it's too much. It's just too much right now. Even though my husband was like, it's not that big of a deal. Well, he'd been wearing glasses since he was 3. So it's not that big of a deal. Just, and you hear people say that. But I want to empower you to know when you're ready. And now, post accident, with no conclusive results, I'm looking at, okay, how do I re enter, even inside of this new experience of who I am? So, to start with, I'm only driving around town. We live in a very, very small town. Now, if we go into Sandpoint, I can drop my husband off somewhere, drive around that town, but I'm not doing long extended drives on 2 lanes at 55 next to the edge of a lake and a mountain. So I'm not ready for that yet. I know I'm not ready for that now. The question is, how do we know when we're just afraid? And how do you know when you're ready? So here's what I want to say. I'm willing to, I even want to, but I can tell that I'm just not ready to. It's not that I'm afraid or I won't. I'm just not in a position yet where I'm ready, whether that's emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever it is. So I want to help you distinguish not ready and fear. So how I look at that is the first question is, are you willing to? I am willing to. I even want to. So that's your first question. Are you willing? Whatever it is that you're facing, are you willing? I am willing. All right. Is it something that you need something in order to accomplish that? Ask yourself that question. What do you need in order to confront that or accomplish that? And for me, the question is, I just need more time. I just need more time. I was hoping I'd have some definitive answer. By the same token, I'm really grateful that I don't have the indication of a stroke or a blood clot or some health issue that then I have to make my life about dealing with. So I'm grateful for that. And I don't have a definitive answer about what happened. And I don't actually believe that I just fell asleep. I actually think it was something else. I don't know what. And I'm just not ready to take that on yet. So, what do I need? I just need more time and probably a few more rides into town with other people. And I'm grateful for the opportunity of other people being willing to give me rides to classes or places or things that I'd like to go. And it also feels as if getting those rides from other people is part of this journey for me. And so I'm trusting that. So that's the next question. If you look at what do you need in order to take on whatever it is that's the next step for you, can you see that what you need is actually a vital and valuable part of your own personal journey? And I can for myself. I can actually see that it's part of the piece that I discovered about not always being in control, not having um, things always go my way. Um, and that's really true when you get rides from other people. Because when you get a ride from other people, it's their car, it's their timing, it's their way. And I actually see that as part of my ongoing healing. And then um, the question is, my next question is, how will you know when you're ready? And I'll answer that for myself, and you can answer that for yourself. For me, how I know when I'm ready is I get nudged to move in that direction. There's something that moves me like the glasses. It was like, all right, put them on. And today's the day. I didn't even really think about it ahead of time. Today's the day. We're just going to wear them straight for a full week. And when I reach up to take them off, I stop myself. Like, no, today's one of those days of that week. And so, how I know when I'm ready is it kind of comes to the surface as that's the next step. And I'm not listening to myself argue about it. So, ask yourself, how will you know when you're ready? And then, I just want to encourage you, you are ready when you're ready. And that's the perfect timing. And it may not even be your timing. It may be that that timing is defined and decided by a higher power, whatever you believe in, that says, you know what, you're ready now. And I just think that you want to trust that. You want to trust that because that's the part of the healing where you're reconnecting with that inner wisdom, that inner guidance, that inner being that loves and cares for you and wants what's best. Okay? So take that on this week. I'm taking it on too. And I look forward to seeing you right here next week. Have a great week.